You see, everything's been painted. Everything has been redone.
This dock was completely gone.
Hey. Oh, the neighbor's boat is done.
Like, how much does it cost to recover from something like this? Did insurance actually came out and helped? So instead of $56,000,
yes,
$2,400.
Yeah.
If I didn't know there was a hurricane here a year ago, I wouldn't be able to tell.
No.
We're going to walk the same route we did exactly 1 year ago. But to get to the starting point, we first need to take the island trolley.
Let's go.
All right, this is my first time ever taking one of these.
That's so cool.
Morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Wow. Good morning.
Where are we going, fellas?
Wherever you want.
Okay, I'm going wherever you guys are going.
We're going to like the Stickney Point area?
Stickney Point sounds
Stickney
good.
Point. So this is the free trolley.
Yes, and I've never taken it, but this is something they do.
How long have they had these trolleys?
10 years, maybe.
But you lived here?
We've lived on the island for 77 years. Almost 78
years.
now. I believe that my father is the longest living resident on Siesta Key.
That's cool. So you're doing a live stream right now?
Yeah, for YouTube.
Wow, what's your channel?
Right, yes.
How many viewers do you have?
Currently, right now, it's only like 84.
Nice.
All right. Hey, thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Welcome. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you now.
Take care.
We started our journey at Stickney Point. 1 year ago, this area looked quite different.
It's not good for the truck, salt water, but we'll get it cleared out. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. I have never in my life seen it this way. Wow, it's so beautiful.
Look at how clean it is. Oh, beautiful. This is the first time I've been here since we were here last year. I have to tell you that it would have been a nice year for people to come. A lot less people have come, I think, because of the hurricane, but that's exactly why they should have come, because it's been very quiet. All the restaurants are free to eat in. The traffic has been low. It's been a great, great summer.
And then this year was really good so far with hurricanes.
Nothing, nothing. It's a sandpiper.
This was kind of the start of our walk by the bridge there.
Yep, came over the bridge and then from here right down to the house.
Wow.
Yeah, those cables.
Do you remember how this was destroyed and everything old?
It was, and they've rebuilt all of this. This is all brand new. You can smell it if you come under here.
Wow.
It smells great. It's all brand new.
And the old one was probably really old.
No, they didn't have it that long.
That's what I guess, the cost of living on the island.
Oh yeah.
Wow. This is not looking good.
No. Actually, most people don't realize, but we had 3 hurricanes. The first was Debbie, which was about middle of August, and Debbie rained more than my father ever remembered. And just a month later, here comes Helene, and then 10 days later, here comes Milton. Three hurricanes, all within a couple months of each other.
But nothing like this happened in a long time, right?
Ever.
Dad
moved here in 1948, and we never had a flood.
So in 77 years, that's never happened before.
Yep.
I remember 7-Eleven was flooded too, right?
It was completely flooded. Not only that, but it stayed closed for about 4 months afterward.
No way.
It was one of the last places to reopen, which is surprising. So I didn't have a job there for probably 4 months.
Oh boy. So that's what we're going to be walking in porta potty water.
Porta potty water. And Charlie's barefoot. At least you got shoes on to hold in the sewer.
And there's that house right there. If I didn't know there was a hurricane here a year ago, I wouldn't be able to tell.
No,
Everything
you
is so
really
straight.
have to look closely to see it.
Wow, look at that. All the garbage. I knew this was going to be the case.
Hey, was this house here?
They were building it, or it may have just been built. It has been there a year or so.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's actually several houses. They're apartments that I believe they're all lower floor than 2 up.
What's the price of these houses? Probably in the millions.
$50, $60, I don't know.
Is it just me, or there used to be more trees, more canopy
There were
trees?
a lot more. It was more of a canopy than it is now. There was a lot more.
Probably will take years for it to regrow.
No, I'd give it 5 years, and if they don't cut anything and we don't have any
That's it.
storms, Yeah,
Wow.
things actually recover very quickly.
I'm seeing here first signs of hurricane damage that hasn't been yet cleared.
That's right.
And that makes sense because they're selling the place. And they now took down probably the old house, whatever flooded,
That's
and
right.
rebuilding.
And there was just junk piled up everywhere down there. Just I don't even think you could drive down there.
Wow, so I remember walking this exact same spot. There's the bamboo behind us.
Oh,
But
yeah.
now it's sort of cleared up and nice.
And look at the low traffic.
We're still walking in the middle of the road.
Amazing.
I bet a lot of people are wondering, like, how much does it cost to recover from something like this? Did insurance actually came out and help?
The flood did. The wind was not so great. We've got citizens, but the flood insurance actually took care of all of our damage. Not all of it. I shouldn't say it that way because we had to pay a lot, but it covered what you would expect from an insurance policy. And we can no longer afford the flood. We had to cancel that. So
Oh, wow.
the next time we're going to walk away.
So they raised the flood insurance or it stayed the same?
No, it went way up.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that house never recovered. That'll probably be torn down. They've never done anything with, and this one over here as well.
What about the cars? I've seen, like, walking down the street, there were some Lamborghinis, some Ferraris upside down inside the pool.
Everywhere. There were just these trucks would come in and take them out, and no kidding, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 cars, one after another, all day long. I mean, how many people live down here? It seemed like there wouldn't be that much, but the number of expensive cars that left here was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
What's happening here? What about car insurance? Would they cover flood loss like this?
I wouldn't even know how they pay insurance. My insurance really helped us. My wife's car was rather new. She had just retired, and my car was older anyway. But we had people that actually helped us with the purchase of a new car. And I'm forever grateful to them because it was a very stressful past year. My wife got cancer twice during it, along with the storms, and it's just been a very long, tough year. But, you know, we've gotten through it, and we haven't complained. I mean, it's life, but it takes effort to get through these things, and we're thankful we did.
We're going into murky waters again.
Yes, we are.
So there's sand here, so
Yeah.
it blew from the Gulf.
We're coming up here right now. It is so cool. It's the kind of thing that you wonder, why would somebody do that? This house right here, this is what I'm talking about. It's a 2-story concrete white house. But guess what?
What?
It was a 1-story concrete white house, and they wanted to keep it, and so they hired a company over the past year to lift up an entire concrete home and put a concrete foundation under it. And now you can't even tell. That was a single house. How you doing today? Good to see you. Hey, good. Yeah, you too.
We're doing a YouTube video follow-up to Hurricane Milton.
Tell us what you did. Tell him what you did. Unless
you mind being in the video on YouTube?
No,
Oh, yeah.
they raised the house 10 feet.
They raised the house 10 feet.
They went in there and raised it up.
How do you even do that? I mean,
They
cranes?
Get under there, they dig under there, and then they put beams
Yeah.
across.
Just start lifting. It's taken them a whole year. They're not done yet. I've been watching it every day when I pass by for a year now, these people doing this.
Sergio wrote a.
Oh, what?
I watch your channel all the time. Yes,
I did not expect that.
How funny. How funny.
I watch your channel all the time.
Well, it's a privilege, sir.
Isn't that ironic?
That's very ironic.
You know, and I just had to show you this because nobody else did this. I don't think there's another house that wanted to be saved except this one. God bless you, sir. Have a great day. Take good care.
M&M Guest Services. That was
That was very cool. Isn't that funny? It's perfect.
the story of our civilization.
There it is. There's the story of our civilization. This is an original Siesta Key house, and they were actually thinking about tearing this down because of the damage, and they've decided to keep it, and look, it's beautiful.
This character of Ireland, like you have all these big fancy houses. This has that character.
That's right. It was probably built in the 1920s, and there you go. It still stands to this day.
So how many houses did not survive out here?
Surprising a number of them. I'd say 50 to 70 houses maybe.
Wow.
I'm just talking on this end. I don't know about the other end.
But this one got torn down. Look at
Yep.
that.
Oh, look, there's some bald eagles up there. That is so rare. On Siesta Key, I remember a handful in my whole life. 2 of them. Unbelievable.
Is that the American bird, the bald eagle? Is that like the
That's it.
On the flag, like
That's
in
it.
everywhere?
That's
That
it,
is
not
so
on the flag. That's
No.
the Stars and Stripes. You
This-
gotta figure on the night of the hurricane, the water was this deep.
Wow, your neighbor's yard is all clear and beautiful.
Come and take a look at it. It's so beautiful. He lost so many trees, but it's all cleared out. But look at how beautiful it is. They've just got it all back to normal. You'd never know. You'd never know. Look at all my cans are all over the place. Oh my gosh. All cleaned up. Nothing on the road.
Wow, I remember you being right here, taking out the trash cans and throwing them, putting them back because they were all over the place.
Everywhere. Like I say, we're the low spot. All these new houses are built up, so it was like a river of garbage cans and stuff going in there. I probably found 150 garbage cans in the backyard. Some of them had the address on them, so I just delivered them back, and others I set by the road, people came and got.
How long did it take to clear all this?
I would say a month before they got everything picked up. The debris was piled up on the other side of the bridge in just giant mountains, and that took probably 6 months to get rid of.
Out of this hurricane, what would you say the best thing that came out of it?
People learned, a lot of people, their priorities, that everything is temporary. And I would have to say that's probably the biggest thing that would affected Hideko and I and a lot of people out here is that you can't hold on to things. Everything is temporary, and that's why it's so good to know the Lord, because we have something that is permanent. This beautiful island, and we've been here all these years, and all of a sudden, it's just, your life is completely upheaved. But to know Jesus is like having the rock. You know, here we are on sand, and he gave us that parable about it. You know, the house built on sand, and look at all these houses that were torn down. But the foundation that's built on the rock, think of Jesus. It's permanent. It'll last forever. That's probably the best lesson I got, and I'm sure quite a few people have, because we talked about Jesus a lot with other neighbors and people around here.
Wow. It's still here.
Yeah. See what we got here. What a mess. We go down to the bay. You see,
Wow.
everything's been painted. Everything has been redone.
That's beautiful. Look at this. Also kept the island colors.
Yep.
I remember walking into this place and I almost threw up.
Oh.
It was so disgusting. The
Terrible.
rotting of that. What was this? What was making
Just
it
everything,
smell?
books and desks and everything that had just been, you know, covered in salt water. And so the whole house had to be basically redone.
I cannot believe like that. It actually, you were able to rebuild it, and you guys did most of it yourselves.
Yeah,
It's like,
almost all of it. Well, you know, we'll just hope that we don't have any more troubles, and if we don't, then the Lord will have blessed us in that, and if not, He'll bless us by sending us somewhere else. All that garbage, I said it would be down here, and it is. Wow.
wow.
What is this?
Wow. So I remember this place. Everything was just
Piled up everywhere, broken branches, just debris everywhere. All the garbage from the road had flowed into the driveway because we're the low spot, and it had all rushed down into the backyard.
we couldn't walk through here.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's because the water started gushing out through your property, right?
And something blocked it.
Flooded in there.
And then?
What happened is all this probably stopped the water and made it back up into the
Oh
house.
my gosh.
I don't know how we're going to get this out of here. I have no idea.
probably took us, what, 20 minutes just to get over all of the obstruction just to get down towards the bay.
Yeah, your walkway was destroyed. So
Yep,
you
all washed out.
had to redo the whole walkway.
And remember, it was probably 4 feet deep. It dug all the sand out. And, you know, I mean, we lost a dog right there. I mean, we had to go bailing him out.
And it's yellow-orange now.
Yeah.
Used to be green.
Green. Well, my wife picked the colors, and so now I live in a pumpkin instead of a green forest.
I can't believe how clean it looks. It's like nothing ever happened.
I don't know if you remember, but the water was as deep as the top of the barbecue grill there.
Hi, Mr. Bunny. How did you survive the hurricane?
Yeah, remember there were just garbage cans and a dock? Somebody's dock floated up right here. This tree here, the only thing that's keeping it up right now is this palm tree. That branch is holding up the entire tree. Wow. Otherwise, we would have had to have cut it down last year.
Wow, what a devastation.
What a mess.
Oh.
Here's my cast nets, they're ruined. I don't know how we're ever, look at this tree. He's done.
Hey.
Oh, the neighbor's boat is done. Oh, that's this neighbor over here. That was his boat that ended up over here.
This is crazy. So the dock was completely out of the water. And if you're thinking, how much does it cost to get that dock back? Well, the first quote was
$56,000.
you can buy a small house somewhere.
And so we waited about 3 months.
And then you found
A couple guys.
And they did completely different technology. Instead of bringing the giant equipment and hammering things down, they just came out with what? With a water pump?
Yeah, it's called a mud hog.
Well, I looked up YouTube videos, and there are some guys in the middle of Florida, and they say all it takes is use water pressure. You can just dig down under each column, and they will just naturally start falling down into the sand. And you can do it slowly, each pylon at a time, and the whole dock will go down.
They did nothing slowly. These guys knew what they were doing. They were so efficient and so wonderful. I'm embarrassed to say they only charged $2,400.
So instead of $56,000,
yes,
$2,400.
Yeah, and I had to give them a giant tip because I was so shocked at the work, the time it took.
And the crazy part is that you could have went for $56,000, but the insurance wouldn't cover it either.
Oh no!
Right?
If it happened again this year, then it would be another $56,000 or no dock or whatever you decide.
Yeah.
Look at the roots. This entire sea grate is done.
But thankfully, it has not been destroyed and the tree somehow survived.
This is actually one of the coolest fruits I've ever got to taste. These are
sea grape.
grapes. It is absolutely delicious.
It's
so,
Sergio's favorite fruit. The
So-
first time he tasted it, he went ballistic and he comes over and eats the whole tree every year. They're so good.
wow. It's just so acidic and
That's
it's so
because
sweet.
if it floods with salt water like this one did, it's extra balanced.
You got this tree right here and you're eating this fruit and this has one flavor, and then you go there closer to the water where it takes
Totally
probably
different
seawater.
flavor.
It's amazing. It's so delicious. Feels like I can't get enough of them. You just keep eating.
There's lots of fruit, but they're not ready. This tree, for some reason, is always bloomed later.
The condition of his property is significantly worse than after Hurricane Helene. Not only did it flood about the same level inside the house and this entire garage, but also the property is destroyed by wind damage.
Yeah, I remember walking here and it was all just, it looked like the end of the world happened, and I thought there's no way. I couldn't even imagine how to begin to recover from this. When there's so much devastation, so much destruction, you think.
Where do you start? Literally, where do you start?
And here we are, what, exactly 1 year later.
1 year to the day from the first hurricane. The second one came about 10 days later, which was Milton. That's the one where we walked together in the morning. And all these papayas planted themselves from the hurricane. They were just seeds that came in, and there's hundreds of them. I got them all around the property.
It's like it's a papaya forest.
That's exactly.
Wow. Thanks so much for doing this.
Brought back a lot of memories, I'll tell you. Not all of them good.
And that's the thing, you've been through so much this past year. 3 hurricanes back to back, your wife's cancer, and then some health issues and so many things. But now that you're kind of on the other side of the things, of the troubles and the pains, for the most part, there are some still struggles and difficulties. But what would you share with people, somebody watching this? Because I know a lot of people out there are hurting, a lot of people are there in pain, a lot of people are there, sometimes even lose hope. Is there anything that you've learned through this, but also want to share with people?
I guess the first thing is you have to go back and you have to remember what it was like before the storm. And that was mostly just life being lived. It's just one of the things that we, you go through daily life and you don't think about what's coming next. And until, a friend dies, and then you suddenly stop and you think about life. In the case of the hurricane, you have to reevaluate everything that you hold dear.
Hideko! Hello! We're fine. We're well. Rhoda is well. There's some damage, but not like this. This is...
Over the past year, she has done more than any person I've ever seen to restore us to a livable life again. And I just want to thank her. She's been just a stalwart, going through cancer, going through medical treatments that have been debilitating. And she is the one that has been so focused on the Lord, so focused on being the person that she can be despite her troubles. So I'd like to thank her for that as well.
Exactly 1 year ago, this very day, we ended the video on this bridge, and Charlie shared his testimony. Today, I return to ask him if that testimony still stands true despite of everything that happened.
One of the things, I was looking at some pictures of us last year, and I was wearing the same shirt. And the reason why that is because I wear this at the mall I take care of every morning. I've worn this now 6 days a week, every week since the hurricane. But the shirt's getting older, Charlie's getting older, you're getting older. And the one thing we have to remember is that time is limited. And eventually time is going to run out for us. And we have to be prepared right now, because it may be a hurricane that ends our time. It may be a sudden death. It may be a tragedy, whatever. But time is going on, and we have a very short amount of it when you put it into its proper perspective. And so the one thing that I think that people should learn from this, not just a hurricane, but any event in life, is that it's going to end, and we need to be ready for what's coming next. That's probably the biggest lesson that I would give people based on a year of thinking about our situation, my wife's situation, the many houses that have been taken down. It's all temporary, every bit of it.
Make it we came to this life, and make it
I shall return.
shall return. And so I would just say, for somebody who is struggling right now, somebody who they might not have a hurricane, they might not be going through a hurricane, but they might be going through struggles in their life that seem like...
That is a hurricane.
That is a hurricane.
That is their hurricane, and people are going through these things. And we need to evaluate our lives and say, is this all I want from life? What is it that I want? Because if you're just hoping on good times all the time, we had 3 bad times in a month and a half here. None of them were expected. They came up very suddenly. And Helene, there was a little bit of preparation. Milton, there was almost none. And your bad times that you're going through, you suddenly get a cancer, or you're told that your job is ending. It's temporary. And you have to look beyond that, or you've got no hope at all. And I would hope that people would see that and would be able to say, I know there's something greater.
Well, if everything is temporary, I mean, literally, like, I know I have an appointment with death one day. This body's gonna die. So if everything I will have in this life is temporary, so what is that greater hope?
It's the hope of the resurrection. Is there life after this life? And there's only one place that we can put our hope that has absolutely given us the assurance that is possible, and that's in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He came to show that it can be done. And it's not by our works, it's by what he did.
Okay, so if that's possible, how would I attain that resurrection? What do I need to do to not...
God has sent his son into the world so that you, by faith alone in what he did, he's done the work. It's by faith in what he did that you can have that promise of eternal life. It's not about church. It's not about giving money to church. It's not about, doing good things for people. That may be fine. And it is fine, but that's not what will secure your relationship with God. He wants you to trust in what he has done through the giving of his son. That's it.
So, just believe on the Lord Jesus.
That's all you have to do.